in front. He wants redemption from gold medals. Still ZM. Gold medals is trying his life out. ZM 2 lengths in front. Oh, what a Kiwi he is. He's the champion, ZM. We're seeing history here. This is 5 grand annuals for the favourite son, Seamar. A Blaze race clear for Turkey Legs. ZM can do no more. Gold medals there in a fight of their own. But it is a Blaze. Gold medals from ZM. Third is going to be George V. ZM, look at him. He won't give in. But gold medals, 2 grand annuals. What a hometown hero. He be right. He's in front. Police camp's coming on the outside. Police camp coming in. He be right. He be right. Yeah, he'll be right. Rockstar Ronnie. Police camp. Is he going to run another second? He can't run Rockstar down. Rockstar is a rockstar. He's a rockstar. Count 0. He's coming back at Felix 1. Felix 1. He won't go to the lead. Count 0 point. Felix 1. Count 0. I don't know.
More memories imminent as we transfer from 1949 and bronze laddie for Keith Denham and Gordon Bush's victory on Grand Annual Day. Warrnambool Racecourse is a pretty picture in 2025. As they migrate up the hill, there'll be plenty still staying at ground level ahead of the 2025 Grand Annual Steeplechase, a man who won the time-honoured race with a Blaze back in 2022. We only got a short snippet of your good work over 5,500 metres there, Jacko, but what's it like now? Are there butterflies in the stomach? I know there's none in Tom Ryan because he's just walking around like it's a normal Wednesday afternoon or Thursday afternoon.
There is, Nige. You know, it's the race that captivates the season, basically. I love it. I loved it from the first time I watched it.
Well, what's your first memory of a Grand Annual? Because let's be frank, you aren't from around here.
No. So the season probably, or the year before I moved out here, obviously I was trying to get sponsored and I'd got in touch with the Wild Camp. So I kept a close eye. I hadn't watched much jumps racing. I'd been here before on a tour, but I hadn't watched much. I hadn't seen the May Carnival, knew nothing about it. And then I started following Ed Megapixel on the go at the time, and he obviously ran at Briley. But then I watched, I think that year, maybe Awakening Dream won it. And I think Steve Papeman might have won 6 of the 7 jumps races. And I watched it. The whole carnival had recorded it, and I'd get up in the morning and watch it. And I just thought, what a course, like, you know, one of these cross-country courses, ducking and diving, ducking and weaving. I can't wait to ride around it. And ran third in it my first year here, and had a few misses then after that, and it took me a while to eventually win one in 2020. No crowd here, there was nobody up on the hill, but it was still a great thrill.
For horse and rider, what's the most technically challenging aspect of the 33 fences?
Looking back now, I think not letting the occasion get to you. I know my first couple of years, you know, you're buzzing, you wanted to win it, and you're probably trying a bit too hard, and you get racing too early, and it's, like you say, it's 5,500, 33 fences, bide your time, keep a bit of energy up your sleeve, and that's what I learned as the years went past. And then little tricks about the track, you know, things you can do coming down the hill, ducking and diving, and but no, I can't wait. It's a great year, a great race every year, and you'll see the crowd up on the hill. This is what Warrnambool talks about in the build up to the carnival, with some great races, Wongooms, Gallywoods, Warrnambool Cups. Don't mind any of them. You walk down the street in Warrnambool, I promise you, the only thing anybody asks you, what's going to win the Grand Annual?
Well, the pavers that are etched out the back, they hold the names of the winners of one race and one race only, and that's the Grand Annual. And it feels more like Woodford Cup Day than Warrnambool Cup Day. It is bakingly warm here at the moment. What a treat it is. We're in for a fantastic edition of the race. Duke of Bedford's got history waiting for him as he tries to complete the Briley Grand Annual double, and become the 23rd to do that. Count Zero is going to try and go back-to-back in the race. Amongst the colour, the movement and the migration up on the hill are Matt Stewart and Kate Watts.
Good on you, Nige and Jacko and Fairdigham. There is no better spectacle in sport, Watsy, than standing up here, looking over this magnificent racecourse and the anticipation of the Grand Annual Steeplechase, Watsy. 33 jumps, 5,500 metres. It is huge.
How bloody good is the bull, man? We made the trip up here. Everyone's coming up. It's the biggest race in jumps racing in the country. And what a feature that we have. Who's going to win it? Everyone's coming up because you're the king of the bull, asking us, who's your tip? Is last year's winner Count Zero? Tommy Ryan gets the chance to get his first annual on board. He's proven at the distance. Is he going to get it?
So many good stories, Watsy, in this race, to be honest, today. You know, the New Zealand Raider and wouldn't Portia Matthews be a wonderful story to become the first female to ever win the Grand Annual? As you said, Count Zero to go back-to-back. You know, Duke of Bedford on the back-up, $50,000 TAB bonus on the line there. That's a big carrot, Watsy.
And you mentioned Portia. I was speaking to her before. This is the biggest crowd that she says, by a mile, she's ever ridden in front of. She said she just walked around to be able to see that these people are all here because they love jumps racing.
Nah, jumps racing is a real winner here today. And the crowd, they will be coming up in their hundreds, if not thousands, here to view this. And I tell you what, Watsy, it is going to be huge. We are going to head back to the mounting yard because it is time for the national anthem and the 2025 Grand Annual Steeplechase.
Australians, all let us rejoice, for we are one and free, with golden soil and wealth the toil. Our home is girt by sea. Our land abounds in nature's gifts of beauty, rich and rare. In history's page, let every stage advance Australia fair. In joyful strains and let us sing, advance Australia fair.
Of the national anthem, you could hear a pin drop on course at Warrnambool, and Shane Jackson, that is a rare thing to say during the May Carnival.
It sure is, but it's beautiful, isn't it? It just, everybody showing their respect, but now it goes from one extreme to the other. You could hear a pin drop. The Grand Annual is the race every year where the crowd get behind you. You could hear them from jumping the second last. You can hear them when you go past the stands. And yeah, the tension's building, the excitement's building. Yeah, roll on the next 18 minutes, I think it is now.
Yeah, something beautiful, something unique about a round of applause for the runners when they've still got 30-odd fences to clear as they come past the grandstand the first time. And this year's Brant Grand Annual Steeplechase promises to be a cracker.
Bellix one on the outside, goes up to take a narrow lead in the annual, trying to get off the canvas is Count Zero. He's coming back at Bellix one, he won't go to the lead, Count Zero fights, Bellix one, Count Zero. There's no catching the Duke today. He just got beat the other day, but not today. Flash Gordon has a look around. He'll fly the SCT colours to victory here. And he bolts and he coasts, he eases him down. Instigator coming at him. Police camp down the outside. 100 to go. Mighty Oasis just. Instigator's driving the inside. Instigator, he runs Mighty Oasis up the track, but he beat him. The locals are going to cheer. One to get over for Freddie the Eagle. Up over, he put in a magnificent leap. I can hear them from here. Freddie dashing away. And Freddie the Eagle's going to win a former Darwin Galloper.
Terrific race on paper. We can't wait for it to morph into 3D, but Jacko, it's a typical Grand Annual. It's proven commodities like Count Zero against rising stars like Duke of Bedford.
Exactly right, and it's wide open. You know, there's a case to be made for the majority of the runners, but it's a Grand Annual. They all need to do everything right. You have your horses that are there that are seasoned veterans that are going to be, you know, jumping from fence to fence, and then you have your younger stock coming through that need to do everything right. It's going to be fascinating, and I think a good ride and a good steer is going to maybe win the race.
What did we learn from the Briley Tuesday that we can put into practice now?
Berry de Cash was ridden too far forward in the Briley. I don't know if he knocked up late. He still whacked away to the line, but he's normally a horse ridden cold. spoke to the jockey, and the trainer I think is keen to ride him cold in the annual, which I think is a huge plus for him. Duke of Bedford won with plenty in hand. Instigator flew home from no man's land, but that's the way Instigator likes to be ridden. He likes to be ridden like he's no chance, and it switches him on a little bit. If you try win a race with him, he says no thank you. Heir to the Throne, Blood and Sand, and all horses come back. They've really rejuvenated him. He's an each way chance. Like I said, Bazzini, there's probably only one or two that you can't make a case for.
Count Zero won a Jericho, was beaten 37 lengths on the Tuesday in the Briley 12 months ago. He was ridden in different fashion come the Thursday. To win the Grand Annual, he's had a different preparation again this year for Simon Wild.
He sure has, and I'd say Darrell Horner's at home, disappointed that he's missing the spin, because he rides the horse so well. He's so confident on him. He like the ride won the Grand Annual last year, no doubt about it. He set him alight. He said, you're not going to fall asleep like you did in the Briley, and he set him alight from an early stage, and he was super strong on him to finish. But he's a great replacement. Tom Ryan, he's done nothing wrong all week. He knows this track well. He's won a Briley. He hasn't won an Annual. I know that's the one he'd love to take off his list. So he'll be in it for all the money.
Is this a stronger Annual than last year? Count Zero was a $31 chance. Stern Idol, of course, was the talking point leading into the race and was then scratched after his victory.
Yeah, but that's what the Annual does. You have these hot pots will come in not knowing if they'll see the trip, and something more than likely they won't. I don't know if it's a stronger Annual, but it's a more even Annual maybe. There's, like I said, there's a case to be made for most of the field, so there's no superstar, but it's going to take a good horse to win it, and a horse that just does everything right.
Rick McIntosh has been the voice of the Grand Annual for over a decade. Rick, this is a familiar period of the day for you. What are your thoughts on the 2025 edition?
Really looking forward to it. I'm not sure it's the greatest rendition we've seen, but because they're so even, I think it's going to make for a cracking race in itself, if you like. As Jacko touched on, you're sort of at pains to find one that can't win, that's making up the numbers. Every horse has a legitimate chance if it was run the right way. There's a lot of horses are going to be some kind of query at the 5,500. Hence, I defaulted to the best Briley run from a Grand Annual point of view, and that was Instigator. He just sat back, did nothing, appeared late. If Braden Small can do that today, they're all gasping up front. He might be the fresh one on the scene.
Rick, we can't wait for you to provide the soundtrack to another Grand Annual. Have a terrific call.
I can't wait to do it. I'd see you soon.
Big thanks to Rick McIntosh. He's Gabby Doxy for a market ahead of the Grand Annual.
That it is, Nige, over the 5,500, as we know, and Duke of Bedford has been really well supported here today. He's been flying this horse into 280 now, so a really good go. Instigator next line at $5 has had a little bit of interest, along with Freddie the Eagle, who was good on Tuesday at $5.50. Bury the Cash at $6 has had plenty of support. Count Zero, 9 into 8 in the last 30 seconds or so, and not too much yet to report towards the bottom of the page. Duke of Bedford, clearly the best backed runner here early on in the piece for the Grand Annual. You win some, you lose more. For free and confidential support, call the number on your screen or visit the website.
This mounting yard is brought to you by the Kia Tasman. Reserve yours now.
First run in 1872. We've known it as the Grand Annual Steeplechase for now 130 years. 33 fences, 5,500 metres. Bring on the Grand Annual Steeplechase of 2025. Horse 1 is Bury the Cash. Portia Matthews got a feel for the circuit with a 4th in the Briley on Tuesday afternoon, Jacko, and she should be better for it, as should her horse.
100%. Both of them will have improved a lot for the experience around here. They're going to ride him a bit quieter. They rode him quite handy in the Briley, probably closer than I expected. And over this distance, they're going to ride him quiet. He's a class horse. He's won Grand Nationals in New Zealand. He's inexperienced though, so He needs to get everything right, but if he does get everything right, he can be the winner of this race.
We'll come back to 2 Count Zero and 4 Instigator 3. The leaderboard are scratching. The next runner to take a look at is the 5 in Duke of Bedford. The Briley winner on Tuesday afternoon. 10 in the last 50 years have completed that double, most recently gold medals in 2018.
And wasn't he super in the Briley? He jumped from fence to fence, handled the track better than he's ever done before. Another bit of experience around here. The slower tempo of the Grand Annual, I think, will suit this horse big time. He's obviously a question at the distance, and being a Tavistock as well, he's a question at the 5,500, but he hasn't showed any signs that he won't stay, and he's jumping, and the way he relaxes will keep him in it for a long, long way.
6 is Heir to the Throne, Luca Ramonde to ride for Andrea Leake. 6th in the Briley in his steeple debut 48 hours ago. 3 wins over the jumps previously.
Yeah, nice horse, beautiful type, jumps very, very well. I think he jumps fences better than he used to jump hurdles. He jumped them well too, but I think he's even better over a fence. I know they would have loved to have Tom Foolery here as well, the team, but they just have Heir to the Throne today, and they ran second, just beaten in the Grand Annual last year, so I'm tipping they want to try and make amends for that.
7 Blood and Sand brings different form and a different preparation to this race. Was a winner of a steeplechase here over the Briley distance in July last year. Lost the rider in the Grand National. 2 lead-up runs, most recently 4 lengths off leaderboard in the chase at Pakenham.
Yeah, and like you just alluded to, a bit of experience around this track. He's won around the track. That's a big tick in my book. He's an older horse. He looked like to be a superstar early days, and the team have done a very, very good job to get him back, rejuvenate him. He had a tendon injury, and it took a while to get him back. They've nursed him through that. I thought his best was behind him a while ago, but his last run showed different signs. He really travelled up, loomed large, and ran a cracker at Pakenham.
7 Blood and Sand is 12 out to 16 on the VOP. 8 is Freddie the Eagle, one of a couple of representatives trying to give Simon Wild another victory in the Grand Annual. It was a terrific trial with the 2nd in the Briley to Duke of Bedford on Tuesday.
Has to be a question at the 5,500, but what he will do is jump very well. He's not a huge horse. He's very nimble on his feet, so he suits this course. He just loves it around here. He's trialled very well around here, and we know Simon Wild knows how to train a Grand Annual winner.
Simon Wild chasing his 4th annual, and what a terrific effort is by Will Gordon just to be here. 9 is Historic. Martin Kelly riding for Stephen Pateman. Well, what a turnaround in the space of 24 hours it would be for one of our leading riders, who's also, of course, training in his own right. And with the last of the Sabiles, Historic's final time going around will be in this year's Grand Annual.
Yeah, he's a lovely, genuine, honest old horse. He lacks a bit of ability, but what he does is whack away. He loves these cross-country courses. He's great around Casterton. He's good around here, and that's one thing he has in his favour. He'll be very fit, and he'll see out to 5,500.
Simon Wild also represented by the 10 in Bazzini, who lost Martin Kelly in the Briley on Tuesday afternoon. Willie McCarthy with victory on Hebe Wright back in 2022.
Yeah, this horse, he looked very, very promising here last year. He won the novice hurdle, and I thought he was a force to be reckoned with. He lost his way a little bit, but I do think the fences have sparked him up. He's better over a fence than a hurdle, and yeah, great rider booking in Willie McCarthy.
11 and 12 out. We go back to the 2 and the defending champ in Count Zero, who has only had a couple of runs. In fact, sorry, before we get back to Count Zero, we'll take a look at the 13 Flying Piero. The Emergency gets a run for Dean Parker and Tony Rossellini.
Yeah, he loomed up like he was going to do a bit last start, and then he petered away late, but Tony Rossellini's had some champions in his day. He loves the jumps racing, great supporter of it. They'll be well schooled, he'll jump well, but I don't think he's going to be featuring in the finish.
Back to the 2, last year's Grand Annual winner in Count Zero. Tom Ryan looking to win the Gallywood and the Grand Annual in the space of 24 hours. 3 extra kilos for Count Zero to carry through the 5,500 this year.
He does, but he's still weighted pretty well for mine for a Grand Annual winner. He only carries the 67 with Barry de Cashman, the top weight. He'll love this sun. The drier the ground gets, the better he'll be. He loves nice ground, not too soft, jumps brilliantly, stays all day. You know, if this gets into a dogfight, he's a little terrier, and he will stick his head out and try his hardest.
It'll be the story of the week if for Instigator can salute. He put in terrific Grand Annual trial with his withering finish from nowhere to run third in the Briley on Tuesday afternoon. Aaron Purcell looking for a feature double after collecting the Wongoom yesterday afternoon with Dashing.
Yeah, and he mightn't be my top pick, but I tell you one thing, this is the horse I'm going to be cheering the loudest for. Braden Small's a great friend of mine. Everyone knows he's had his health issues. And so brave just to get his weight down better this year than he's ever had in his career. He's loving his riding, and to get a winner on the big stage, that would be something special for Warrnambool, for us, for all his mates, and for Braden and his family.
Will Gordon sporting the war wounds of 48 hours ago, but they're a tough breed, our jumps riders, and a couple have dusted themselves off from minor incidents in the past couple of days. Minor for those rank and file that are on this side of the fence, but not for those who are in the heat of battle. And Stephen Bateman, great to see him here on course. He's got the right arm in a sling, but, well, as said, it would be an amazing turnaround in the space of 24 hours after the fall yesterday if he was able to saddle up historic to grab a win at his final career start. Jacko, count zero on top for you to go back-to-back in the annual.
Yeah, and this warm weather's really going to play into his favour. The Steeplechase course will be drying out. I just think he's tough. He has the experience. We know he stays. He's won a Jericho. He's won a Grand Annual. The proof is in the pudding, and he's not outweighted. 67's a very winnable weight. Duke of Bedford has to give him a run for his money. I thought he was brilliant in the Briley, but obviously he has the query. Does he stay out the trip? Bury the Cash, if he gets everything right, he's probably the class horse of the race. If he goes around and he jumps from fence to fence and Porsche steers him back onto the course proper, not too far off the leaders, he's going to give him a real shake-up. An instigator. He's one of those quirky horses you love to watch because you don't know what he's going to do. Is he going to put it in? Is he not? But what a fairy tale it would be if Braden Small could win a Grand Annual.
It's 2-5, 1-4 for Shane Jackson in the Brant Grand Annual of 2025. Warren, your numbers from the yard.
Just one number, Nigel. I know he's quirky, he's enigmatic. Number 4, Instigator, I don't think could look any better. He must have come through that run on Tuesday in outstanding order, lovely and chilled in the yard, and he's the pick for me, number 4.
Well, he's also the pick for the punters as well. Was Instigator into $5, has been really well backed throughout the parade. Duke of Bedford fraction soft now, $2.80 out to $3.40. Bury the Cash has been solid around the $5 quote, but and we've got count zero into 6 late here from 7, so plenty of support around there. Not too much else happening towards the bottom of the page. Instigator, one of your best late runners, along with count zero for the Grand Annual. You win some, you'll lose more. For free and confidential support, call the number on your screen or visit the website.
Andy Bobbin with the favourite here, Duke of Bedford. The nerves were big on Tuesday, Bobs. You've won the Briley, mate. You got the $50,000 TAB bonus on the line here as well, mate. How are you feeling?
Feeling pretty good. It was a great day there on Tuesday, and bonus is probably the key word. That was the real goal for this carnival. He pulled up so well, and why not run him? He jumps well, he's fit, he's hard, he's got a good weight, so let's give him the opportunity and the owners the opportunity to have a great day out today.
And what were you looking for, Bobs, over the last 48 hours in Duke of Bedford?
Just got up on Wednesday morning, went over and checked him, see how much feed was left in his bin, and he pretty much cleaned it up, which is a good sign, but also just his demeanour, is he bright and alert? And then, of course, we trot him up, feel his legs, make sure everything is in order. We just splashed around in the water at home yesterday and then threw him on the float this morning. Here we are.
And, mate, he's jumping out of his skin, like he gives you a good feel.
Well, he won't be jumping out of his skin because he's run 48 hours ago, but these stayers, it doesn't matter at all. They're fit, they're hard. You know, they could do it every day. It wouldn't worry them. But he loves this game. He loves jumping. I just watched him go out there, and as soon as he hit the turf, his ears were pricked, and Lynchy got over his neck and just made him, pull himself together. And he's going to be in it for a very, very long way. The obvious question, and everyone keeps reminding me of it, is that he's got to go another 2,000 metres, he's got to go up the hill twice, all that. He's fit, he jumps well, he'll be out of trouble in the position that he puts himself in running, and whatever will be.
Good luck, mate.
Good, Chewy, thank you.
Yeah, great stuff. And Kate Watts, well, wouldn't this be a great story if the Kiwi Raiders can roll us today with Bury the Cash?
Yeah, great to be joined here by New Zealand trader and Mark Olligan. Mark, first runner that you've had over here at the Warrnambool Carnival, and you're coming out of a Briley into the Grand Annual. How's he come through the Briley?
Yeah, well, he seemed to pull up pretty well. Didn't do a lot yesterday, but he seems bright and pretty alert today in the yard here. So, yeah, I think he's pretty right condition-wise.
First time out to this distance, how are you feeling with him at the 5,500?
Yeah, well, that's always an unknown, but he's by a staying stallion and from a staying mare, so... And in New Zealand, he's sort of running up 4,000 metres pretty strongly, so just taking a line through that, he should be thereabouts.
Just this great rider that you've got, the first female to win it if she's able to get it in Portia Matthews, and she's just an absolute winner, isn't she?
Well, yeah, she's pretty competitive and she does a good job. Yeah, we're pleased to have her on our team, and yeah, it's interesting that she's the first female rider if she wins it, but good luck to her.
Well, we're wishing you all the best. Good luck.
Yeah, no, thank you, Kate.
Matty, you found Simon Wild. He's got 3 in the feature.
Well, he's been in this position before. You've won 3 of these, Simon. You've got a couple of really key chances here, mate. And Count Zero obviously looking to go back-to-back. How is the horse?
Yeah, he's in good order. You know, obviously he's proven at this trip, being a Jericho Cup winner and also winning the race. So I don't think he'll have a problem with that. He's had a pretty good build-up. You know, we would have liked to have possibly had one more run into him, but he's pretty close to right, and you know, I think the ground's going to suit him as well. He does need the dry track, so look, he'll give you a good sight. He's you know, his last score was really good, so yeah, pretty happy with him.
What about Bazzini? One that runs and stays all day, mate. Wouldn't it be a good story in the Colin McKenna colours?
Yeah, look, his build-up wasn't ideal. He lost the rider in the Briley, so you know, he might be one for the future, hopefully, that it'll end up in running in this race for a couple of years to come. But yeah, his build-up wasn't perfect, but he does stay really well. Probably prefers better ground, softer ground. And his jumping's got a little bit to, you know, it's got to get there a little bit as well. But he definitely is a strong stayer.
Good on you, mate. Good luck.
Thanks very much.
Watsy, I tell you what, this would be a story too. Aaron Purcell won the feature yesterday. Gee whiz, imagine if Braden Small can salute here on Instigator.
Yeah, it'd be fantastic, wouldn't it? Aaron, appreciate your time. What a story it would be for Braden and for this horse. He's so quirky. We just had your good mate Kieran Maher come past and he said, who's more quirky, you or this horse?
Oh, the horse has definitely got me covered. I try and do things as I'm supposed to. The horse tries to make life difficult for everybody. So, yeah, he's been a good horse for the stable. It hasn't been an easy horse, but, yeah, just wrapped to be in the race. So glad Braden could make the weight. Because the horse is definitely a winning chance, and if we get a bit of luck in running, and if Braden can time his run, yeah, he's going to go close to winning, I think.
He's a good Briley at a big price coming into this. How's he come through?
Yeah, really good. He was unlucky. He got held up at a crucial stage coming down the hill, and then hit the line really strong. And he's been really well the last couple of days, and his health is as good as we can hope. His behaviour was really good today, so yeah, I think he's here to run a good race.
Best of luck.
Thank you.
Aaron Purcell looking for a second grand annual steeplechase. Nige, mouthwatering contest ahead.
Yeah, Watsy, the time for talk is very, very much over. What a magnificent sight the Warrnambool Racecourse is as the loading process begins for the 2025 Grand Annual Steeplechase. The voice of the race in recent years is Rick McIntosh.
Flying Piero, the outsider, is set. 5,500 metres, 33 fences, 2 laps of the greatest jumps course in the Southern Hemisphere. Only a couple to move in. Duke of Bedford, the Briley winner from Tuesday, runs the favourite. Here comes Freddie the Eagle. One of a 3-pronged attack for the Wild Clan. They're set now. They're off in the Grand Annual. Count Zero, last year's winner, one of the first to jump out. Duke of Bedford away nicely as they come to the first. Count Zero and Duke of Bedford over together. Instigator in real close attendance. Then Freddie the Eagle trying to duck in from Bazzini and Historic as they pass us here. Heir to the Throne was next, followed by Bury the Cash, Flying Piero, and Old Blood and Sand, the 12-year-old. is back at the tail end of the field, 2 lengths away. Speed's okay early doors in the annual as they come to the third fence. Duke of Bedford jumping like he usually does wonderfully. He speeds his way to the front for Lynch. In front of last year's winner, Count Zero. They're 6 lengths in front of Instigator. Behind him was Bazzini and his stablemate Freddie the Eagle. Then Historic, who was next in front of Heir to the Throne. The Kiwis settled much better today. Bury the Cash, he's back in the field. Then Flying Piero and Blood and Sanders last of all. They've jumped the one. They're about to jump the one at Elford Road. Duke of Bedford setting a pretty fair tempo here in the annual. He's about to climb the hill. He's got to do it again. Lynch just steadies him a little. He's out by 3 to Count Zero. They're in a different race to the others. 12 lengths to Instigator. They've all been detached. Bazzini was next. Freddie the Eagle's around the outside of Historic and 2 to Heir to the Throne. Bury the Cash. He's settled beautifully, 3rd last, but he's a mile off the leaders today. 4 to Flying Piero and 4 last of all was Blood and Sand. These leaders are going like they've only got to do a lap. Duke of Bedford, he's 3 lengths in front of Count Zero. They're a mile to Instigator as they climb the hill. The 3rd in Briley on the first round coming up now. It's jump number 8. Over he goes, Duke of Bedford, 3 lengths to Count Zero. He's the only one who can stick with him. 6, 7, 8 lengths maybe to Instigator. Then Historic, who came through to be 4th in front of Bazzini, Heir to the Throne. Bury the Cash and Freddie the Eagle, and 4 further back to Flying Piero. Blood and Sand last. The toppest part of the furthest top of the track, Cox's Hill. They've all got over the double. Yes, they have. And they're down to the Elgar Hood here. And the leader is Duke of Bedford by 3 lengths. He won't know what's going on when he's got to go left here at Tozer. He leads Count Zero by 3. They're 6 lengths in front of Instigator. The leaders have steadied and the gaps are closing up. 4th Historic. Here we go, Duke of Bedford. He does not know what's going on here, but he does go left okay. Count Zero helps him, guides him through that bend as they're going to go past the crowd off the course, and look at what was the old man trap. Instigator has really made up good ground to 3rd while the leaders have steadied. Heir to the Throne's behind him, Historic on the fence. Bazzini next, and there is the man trap. Freddie the Eagle from Bury the Cash. 2 to Flying Piero and the old greybeard Blood and Sand. He sees them all. Up to the next fence, and Duke of Bedford again assumed control in the race. He's trying to do what he did on Tuesday and lead all of the way. He's 3 lengths to the winner of last year, Count Zero. 4 away next was Instigator. He was followed by Historic, and then Heir to the Throne, Bazzini, Freddie the Eagle, Bury the Cash. Flying Piero and Blood and Sand. Now they square up in front of us again. The Houlihan treble. Here we go. The first of them. Wouldn't the great man be smiling above this, seeing a full field in the Grand Annual? Thunder down towards the big crowd. It's Duke of Bedford going clear. He's loving his work. 7 lengths. He's dropped Count Zero now. Instigator was behind him. They come to the one in front of us. The last of the Houlihan treble. Here comes the Duke. Up and over he goes. Give them a roar, folks. There's a circuit to go in the Grand Annual. And losing the rider is Heir to the Throne, right in front of us. But in the meantime, Duke of Bedford goes clear. He's 8 out in front of Count Zero. Now the riderless horse just getting in the way a little there. Instigator is running 3rd, and behind him is Historic running a good race. Freddie the Eagle's on his inside. Bazzini, Bury the Cash, and the 2 bolters, Blood and Sand and Flying Piero, are still in the last spot. So they're going to go across the course proper again. Jump the one at Elford Road. It is Duke of Bedford. He's leading them a merry dance. Count Zero making up a little ground in 2nd as they start the trek up Briley. Instigator for Small in 3rd. Freddie the Eagle is 4th. Then Historic, Bury the Cash, Bazzini. Nothing much has happened back here. Blood and Sand and then Flying Piero. Can he keep on going, the Duke? He's going up Briley like it's the first time up there. He's dropped everything. He's in front by about 8, 10 lengths. 2nd place in Count Zero. Freddie the Eagle's run to 3rd. Instigator's off the bit. They're followed by Historic, Bury the Cash, Bazzini, and a break to Blood and Sand and Flying Piero. The rogue of jumps racing he is, Duke of Bedford. He gets to the top of Cox's here. He wouldn't be able to see them if he looked under the arm, the rider. Here he comes, the Duke at Cox's. Up and over the first, cross the road, up and over the second. He's charging down to Granders. It's the 7th last, jump in the Grand Annual. It's the 7th last of 33, the Elgar Hood. He's still a mile in front. Count Zero. Instigator is starting to come again. then followed by Historic on the inside of Freddie the Eagle from Berry the Cash. Here's the Tozer Road double. Duke of Bedford over it. He prefers the going right option. He's starting to get to the end of his run, but he's taken the stuffing out of everything else. Duke of Bedford, a dozen lengths to Count Zero, who's trying to go back to back. Instigator is third. Historic is fourth. They've dropped Bazzini. Blood and Sand is starting to pick off a few. The 5,500 for Duke of Bedford. He comes up towards the third last. Up and over he goes. Only a mistake can stop him from here. Surely. Instigator hasn't given up the chase. Historic runs to third. There'll be no back-to-back for Count Zero. He's in Steeple Lane with 2 to go, Duke of Bedford. I reckon he's travelling better than me. Over the second last. Not his best leap. He's led them all a merry dance. Instigator is in second. Historic's in third. Duke of Bedford. He's got 1 to get over. Up, over he goes. Seriously! How bloody good is the bull? Duke of Bedford, 10 lengths to Instigator. This home straight is going to seem like a mile long, but he's got a lead big enough to win the Warnie. He's a mile in front, Duke of Bedford. He's going to do the Briley and the Grand Annual double. Instigator will run another place, but stand and put your hands together for the 2025 hero of jumps racing, Duke of Bedford. You bloody beauty. He did a Bow Rogue in a 5,500 metre race and won the Grand Annual by a dozen. Instigator second. Bazzini's in. Is Bazzini in a photo for third with Berry the Cash? I'm not sure. They were closely followed then by Historic and Flying Piero. Count Zero's finished. So too was Blood and Sand, I think. But hail the new champ, the Duke.
Hail him indeed, Rick McIntosh. Hail him indeed. The 23rd to complete the Briley Grand Annual double, the 11th in the last half century, and a crowning moment in the career of Andrew Bobbin, who set up camp in Victoria's Wimmera and has produced a Grand Annual winner for the ages. Instigator, third in the Briley and flashing home on Tuesday afternoon, has done terrifically well for Braden Small and Aaron Purcell to be the best of the rest. We'll have a photo to confirm third placing very shortly. 5 beats 4 in the 2025 Brant Grand Annual. Aaron Lynch, his greatest moment as a rider, be it on the flat or the jumps, has come aboard Duke of Bedford as he completes the Briley Grand Annual double. Andrew Bobbin is with Matt Stewart.
Oh, Nigel, there is absolute scenes in the mounting yard because this bloke is one of the good guys of the game. He's worked his absolute butt off to get where he is today. And Bob's, it doesn't get much better than this, mate, does it?
I was just watching him go around. I thought, Jesus, Lynchy, what are you doing? Yes. But he just kept finding and finding. I thought, we're going to stop here soon. But I had to come down the hill the second time. I thought, geez, he's only got to get over him. And that's all we need to do. What a great ride, a confident ride. The horse, every jockey tells me that he might be looking like he's doing too much, but he's just cruising. He's doing it so well. So, perfect ride, great team effort. My staff, they work so hard. We're out almost in the middle of nowhere a lot of the time, and the buzz that we got on Wednesday morning when we all got in the yard together after the Briley win, that's why we're in the game for situations like this and for things to look forward to and work towards. You know, this was a bonus today. The Briley was the goal, but you know, the way he did that today might have just undersold his ability.
Now, Bob's, we spoke about it before the race, mate. The question marks over him staying the 5,500 metres. He's absolutely blown the lid off that.
Is there a race even further somewhere we can find? It was great fun. Might even stay the night.
Mate, we said before, you didn't stay Tuesday night. If you're not staying tonight, Freddie, we're not going to invite you back. It's as simple as that. But you just touched on, it's for the whole stable team. You built your stable from very small numbers to where it's at today. You just must be so happy.
And our record with jumpers is immaculate. Our property is built for stayers. Now, the only stayers we got are jumpers. The ones I buy are no good. So when the time's right and we get the right staying horses, we know that we can keep them sound, we can keep them improving all the time, and this horse is just a testament to the whole operation.
Mate, congratulations. The young fella's the lucky charm here today as well. What's your name, legend?
Noah.
Noah, how good was that, buddy?
one of the best races for jumps.
Good on you, mate. You must be proud of the old boy too. Well done to you, legend. And Watsy, Lynchy comes back to a standing ovation. It doesn't get much better than this, and you've got the strap of Crystal, and she is so excited. And as Bob said, mate, it's the team behind the scenes that put all this together, isn't it?
Yeah, it is, and we're just coming in here with Crystal. You just got him here. You were shaking, Crystal. Tell us what it was feeling like when he went so far out in front.
I was like, slow down. And I was like, God, he's going quick, but he just kept gaining ground. In the end, he probably could have done another lap. As you can see, he's hardly blowing. He just loves it. Jumped very well today, which I was very happy with. When he just kept going, I was just like, he's got it. He's got it.
What a beautiful boy. He's done the double, Maddie.
Tell you what, I've got Andrew Bob, and there's a nice embrace in the mounting yard, and the lovely Marita. No, stay here with me, Marita. Now listen, you come down, you made the trek, you're a nurse at the Alfred Hospital in Melbourne. You made the trek on Tuesday. You had to jump back in the car and go home. Surely you're not working tomorrow?
No, day off tomorrow, thank God.
You got to stay and you got to celebrate this. No. How proud are you? How proud of this?
I'm good. I'm glad I got Noah here. Noah needed to see it. Noah needed to see it.
And tell us about you. Like, you've got a love of obviously jumps racing, horse racing.
No, I don't. I know nothing about it.
Well, you have now.
Well, maybe. I'm starting to become a little bit addicted to it, so no, good fun. And too stressful though. I prefer to be on the.
And it is stressful. And even on Tuesday, you want to stay away from Andrew because he gets pretty nervous, he gets edgy. You went and stood in the exact same spot today. You didn't want to moz things, and it's worked. And now you've got the double, and it's a $50,000 TAB bonus.
Is that for me?
Yes. Hey, good on you, mate.
Funny.
Hey,
so funny.
Listen, Nigel. I don't think it gets much better than this. Andrew Bobbin, one of the good guys of the sport. He's taken out the feature double. The Briley Steeplechase Tuesday, the Grand Annual today, and what a ride by Aaron Lynch.
Yeah, Aaron Lynch has won a Grand Annual Steeplechase as those words wash over him. Take us to the Tozero double the first time. That left-hander looked to be the only place, maybe where there was some questions to be asked about him getting the 5,500 and doing it smoothly.
Yeah, he was a bit suspect getting around there, and Tommy Ryan come up and helped guide me around. Then he sort of picked up the bit again, round up the hill again, jumped brilliant all the way, coming down the hill again. He got on his wrong leg at the top of the hill. I sort of had to switch him over, and he sort of was a bit tired on that leg and swapped over again, and he just got around a bit awkward. But then once we got on the flat again, he's just kicked away and jumped brilliant. And yeah, credit to Bobbin's team and everyone involved, and Warrnambool Racing Club put on a day like this every year. It's just brilliant, and yeah, it's just great to win one.
After sitting back and watching what he did in the Briley on Tuesday, did you feel a sense of pressure and nerves to help him work his way through the task of 5,500?
Yeah, there was a little bit of pressure there, yeah. Like Willie gave him a brilliant ride there Tuesday, and you got to try and emulate that, and the master horseman that he is. But yeah, I just gave him the best ride I could, and he was there for me when I asked. Who are the people you want to thank and acknowledge for helping you get to this point and enjoy this moment? Oh, there's so many people. Thank my partner and two girls at home. They're big support. Go back to early days, Musgroves. They helped me out, and Robbie Lang and my manager Chuck Gray. It's just brilliant to have an annual next to my name. Is that a moment that you wondered if it ever would come your way? I've had a lot of bad luck in the race. I've come off and going over the double. I've had fallen horses fall in front of me last year. Yeah, it hasn't been that horses take me on a mile out and burn me up. And we were talking about it the other night at home, and yeah, just out in front, no bad luck, got the race done. Well, Aaron, you're now stitched into the history of this race and helped complete a 23rd Briley Grand Annual double for Andrew and Duke of Bedford. The glory's all yours. Well done. Thank you. Thanks very much. Thanks, guys.
Great interview, Nigel Carmy, and I've got a couple of Colax finalists here. They're in the ownership. Jason Langdon. Langers, you were here on Tuesday, mate. It does not get any better than this. You were going ballistic there as the horse crossed the line, mate. It was sensational.
Oh, it was magic, mate. Unbelievable. How good is the bull? How good is it? It was a great, absolutely brilliant ride. never doubted the horse. We knew how to go the distance, so it was great just to have it all come together when it counted.
Mate, it's going to be a hell of a night tonight, I reckon.
I'm sure it will be later on, no doubt.
Hey, listen, Lukey McLennan, you've made the trek there from Colac as well too, big fella. You didn't get here Tuesday, but you couldn't miss today.
No, well, had prior engagement, but when it won, I thought, it's supposed to be Melbourne with the missus, but she's left, so I might be going back there yet either.
I think he's already hit me up for a room at my place, but, mate, congratulations, and Langers to you as well, mate. I think the last time we saw each other, mate, you towed me up in a grand final back in 2005, buddy.
This probably rivals it, mate. This rivals it.
Hey, listen, congratulations. Go and enjoy. You deserve it. Well done to Andrew Bobbin. Well done to Aaron Lynch. The 2025 Grand Annual. What a race. Duke of Bedford salutes, and it gets the double.
Duke of Bedford, a dozen lengths to count zero, who's trying to go back to back. Instigator is third, Historic is fourth. They've dropped Bazzini. Blood and Sanders starting to pick up a few. The 5,500 for Duke of Bedford. He comes up towards the third last. Up and over he goes. Only a mistake can stop him from here. Surely. Instigator hasn't given up the chase. Historic runs to third. There'll be no back-to-back for count zero. He's in steeple lane with 2 to go, Duke of Bedford. I reckon he's travelling better than me. Over the second last. Not his best leap. He's led them all a merry dance. Instigator is in second. Historic's in third. Duke of Bedford, he's got 1 to get over. Up, over he goes. Seriously? How bloody good is the bull? Duke of Bedford, 10 lengths to Instigator. This home straight is going to seem like a mile long, but he's got a lead big enough to win the Wardy. He's a mile in front, Duke of Bedford. He's going to do the Briley and the Grand Annual double. Instigator will run another place, but stand and put your hands together for the 2025 hero of jumps racing, Duke of Bedford, you bloody beauty. He did a bow rogue in a 5,500 metre race.
6 minutes and 52 seconds of almost complete jumps perfection from Duke of Bedford, who joins the likes of Franku very much and gold medals in completing the Briley Grand Annual double in the 21st century. Shane Jackson, we delegate to you in these moments. That was just poetry emotion.
It was hair-raising as well, to say the least. You know, and Count Zero sort of set Duke of Bedford alight a little bit early when they took each other on, and geez, they were humming. I thought in the first circuit, I said these boys are going too quick, but in fairness to Lynchy, he probably had to make that decision. Do I try and wrestle him, choke him down? He probably won't get home, or do I let him roll along, breathe properly? And that's what he did, and he never looked like getting beat. Even up the hill the last time, I thought, he has to get tired, but he was jumping so well, I was keeping him in it, and it just turned it into a procession. Count Zero tried to go with him, he weakened at the top of the hill. I thought Bazzini ran on well, finished strong. Instigator was a great run, probably didn't suit him that the leader was so far clear, because he loves to be smothered up and poke around, and he probably had a bit too much room to make up. But just a great race, end to end, gallop end to end. All horses jumped great. Luca Raimondo tipped off the side here, but the horse didn't make much of a blue. Luca just a bit of inexperience, tipped out the side, but horse and riders all good, and what a finish to the jumps race into the carnival.
Yeah, word via stewards, minor foot injury, the only thing they're really monitoring with Luca Raimondo. Asked Aaron Lynch about Tozer Road, the left-hander, the first time at sort of 12-13, where he looked to try and gear Duke of Bedford down after he'd travelled so fantastically through Briley and then down the hill and into Alga Hood. Looked to try and take a couple of short steps and get him right. It was almost the only portion of the race where you were questioning his capability.
That was it. But look, Lynchy knew what he was sitting on, I suppose, even though he hasn't ridden the horse much. He's a very experienced jockey. He's been around for years, and credit to him, because there was probably a stage there where retirement could have been an option for Lynchy, because he broke his leg terribly. He got a fall on the flat one day. He broke his femur up the top, like just a nasty break, and there was talk of amputation at that time. But he's been riding since I came here, and he was as brave as brass then, and he's still as brave today. You know, a real credit to Lynchy. Jockeys like this, they deserve a big day in the sun.
You spoke about consuming the race for the first time from your native island before coming out to Australia. For a guy like Aaron Lynch, who has, as you said, been around the circuit for so long, is it very much relief to go, all right, I've won the pinnacle now, I've done that. That's almost, if I do retire, I'm retiring with a cup full.
100%, Nige, and you've answered the question of, I retired at the end of 2020 after I won the Grand Annual. I was still loving the big days and the big races. I probably wasn't enjoying losing the weight every weekend or the minor meetings, and I was probably getting a bit greedy. And that's, once I won the Grand Annual, I felt I ticked all the boxes. Now it's time to ride off into the sun, but it's the holy grail for us. I know we've the Grand National with some great races, but the Grand Annual's the race that everyone talks about. Everyone wants to win, whether it's an owner, jockey or a trainer.
What of the trainer Andrew Bobbin's performance? Again, not a native Victorian. He's come down, set up camp. He's had bushfires lapping at his back door in the Grampians across the last couple of summers, but the sand-based training that he's using from his base outside stall is effectively the fuel that's powered Duke of Bedford to 2 spectacular victories.
Oh, it's 100%, and it's something that a lot of people are starting to catch on to. You know, it's the way we train them back home overseas, and people always wonder why the stayers from Ireland and England are so good, but they get trained on these heavy tracks with no concussion. The horses are sounder. We don't race them as often, and that's what you can do at a facility like Bob's. But credit to him, you know, he's come from a rugby league background to a media background to being a top trainer. Like, that's not easy. Most people come, you know, whether it be a jockey or their father was a trainer, but they've seen it all their lives. Bob's has come from a completely different direction, and he's playing alongside the best of them.
Yeah, he's lived a full life, and this may well be the peak of his achievements, with Duke of Bedford completing the Briley Grand Annual Double. It's been a terrific couple of days for Braden Small as part of Instigator. It's taken a grand horse in Duke of Bedford to have his measure in both the Briley and the Grand Annual. It's a job well done nonetheless. Braden caught up with Kate post-race.
Great to be joined by Braden Small, finished second in this year's Grand Annual. How do you sum that up there? Instigator, what a horse.
Yeah, no, he was super today. He jumped awesome. I think out of the 33 jumps, we just got him tight to 1, maybe 2, but every other jump he just met perfect, and he cornered brilliant both ways. And he gave me the best spin ever. I'd only previously ridden in the race only twice before, and the last time was 2018, so that old Manatone. He was an old favourite of mine, but that's my best result, running second in the race. And geez, I don't know how I'd feel if I won, because I'm delighted to run second. It's so much fun. Like, you know, 5,500 metres, 33 jumps. When you're on a horse like Instigator, you know, just goes down, does his job. I think I had a smile on my face the whole way around, until halfway up the straight where I realised I couldn't catch Lynchy. But no, it's a great race, and so much fun to be a part of.
You know what's blowing our mind though is it's less than 2 years ago since you had your 3rd brain surgery for a brain tumour. I think, have you still got the scar here? So less than 2 years, and now you're out there competing in such a feat like that. Like, can you say now that you're proud of yourself?
I am, but you know, I was flicking through my phone this morning and come across a photo I took at the scales. It was the 4th of June, so when we just got back from Queensland after Christmas, and I was 74.5 kilos, and I've just ridden 64.5 then, so that doesn't happen overnight. It's been a lot of hard work, a lot of exercise and dieting, but you know, every second I've spent in the gym and every kilometre I've done on the roads training, it was all worth it just to run second then.
Unbelievable. Congratulations. Bring on the next few years.
Oh, I hope so, yeah. Well, I'm losing a bit more hair I'm getting older, so I hope to be around for a bit longer and, hopefully one day win this race, because it is, I've heard Kieran Maher and Steve Payton talk about it's the race, and it is, it's the race.
Thanks very much, Brad.
No,
well done.
Thanks for having me.
Culmination of 30 races, 3 days, 30,000 people. We laid it down at the start. It hasn't disappointed us, this 2025 Warrnambool May Racing Carnival. We wrap it up. A big thank you to our team behind the scenes, producer Matt Tenace, director Matty Burke, and all our TRP crew who've done a wonderful job. Team, this has been a sensational couple of days. Watsy, it's been a really important few days for jumps racing. It has just shone.
And we've seen it with the depth, from the maidens, the novice hurdles. How bloody good is the Bulldogs? We've done it. What a carnival. What a 3 days.
Rick McIntosh calling the socks off it with Adamo. A very good Robin to his Batman. How about our man Jacko, Matty, who has just had the carnival of his life?
No, absolutely brilliant to see. He's a trainer on the up, we know that, and he has had one to remember. And I tell you what, he's got a little party room out in his shed that is absolutely stoked and stocked and ready to go. And the Irish boys are going to be there for about 3 or 4 days, I reckon.
Yeah, amazing by Andrew Bobbin to complete the Briley Grand Annual double bet. Huge for Kieran Maher to win a hometown cup.
Yeah, it has been. That's just, he's got one to come now, Kieran Maher in the Wongoon, but I think that was the highlight of the day and probably the carnival for Andrew Bobbin to get the Briley Grand Annual double, and what a performance it was today to make all and lead throughout. It's the piece de resistance of what has been an amazing 3 days.
Team, thank you so much. And I know for those who've been tuning in across the last 3 days, there's been a lot of feedback and messages about how much the coverage has come through your TV screens, and you probably felt like you've been a part of the bull in 2025. If you've never been, it's something you've got to make sure you tick off the bucket lists. Big thank you to everybody involved. Well done to the trainers, jockeys who have put on the show, and well done to Luke Cann and the team here at the Warrnambool Racing Club. It's been a carnival for the ages. Good fun is, so the racing does not stop. See you Saturday at Caulfield.